face. I'm gonna break your teeth.
You okay, Mr. Roberts?
I am, Judge.
Mister?
Despite the outburst, the motion was actually successful. Part of Hunter's statement was suppressed, and he was assigned a new public defender. But eventually, he was convicted of murder, first-degree assault, and tampering with physical evidence. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Next, we're at St. Joseph District Court in Centerville, Michigan, where 30-year-old Brad Johnson's been charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree and sexual assault. Johnson's scheduled for an upcoming competency hearing, but today Judge Jeffrey Middleton checks in with attorneys from both sides of the case in advance of the hearing. So far, Johnson has not been cooperative with the court, and 2 weeks earlier, the judge sentenced him to 30 days for contempt. Today is not off to a good start either.
We're all holed up waiting for him. I would respectfully request his presence.
After a few minutes, a sergeant from the sheriff's office brings Johnson into the room, although he's not on camera.
Here we go. Mr. Johnson, can you be cooperative about appearing when you're supposed to be? We need to move this case forward. Your lawyer, Mr. George, is here. Are you willing to speak to him?
Not my.
All right. Mr. Johnson, would you have a seat in the chair?
No.
Mr. Johnson, you can't avoid this case by simply saying, I don't want to participate. I'll continue to find you in contempt. I'm going to ask that he be put in a restraint chair and have his skinny ass dragged back in that room. Sergeant Hasbrook?
I took my Instagram story views from this to this, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same. Go to ManyChat and sign up with a free
Sergeant Hasbrook?
After a few minutes, Johnson returns.
He's right there.
All right. Mr. Johnson, have a seat.
The defendant does what he's told. Sort of.
Mr. Johnson, you need to be in the picture, or I'm going to have them put you in the restraint chair and wheel you in there so you and I can speak.
Finally, Johnson slides over and appears partially on camera.
Talk about passive aggressive. Mr. Johnson, you told me several times that you have your own lawyer, who is your father, we're going to have a hearing next week. You're charged with very serious sexual assault crimes, and you're not going to avoid them by just putting your hands over your ears. Well, that was not very successful.
A week later, despite more shenanigans at his competency hearing, Johnson was ruled competent to stand trial. Judge Middleton is pending. 38 years ago, 25-year-old Richard Atwood went missing. He was last seen driving his 1975 Trans Am with a then 18-year-old Snell, an acquaintance, along for the ride. Police found Richard's car 2 months later, but they never found Richard. They questioned Snell, who denied any involvement in Richard's disappearance. Without any evidence against Snell or a body, the case went cold. But 33 years after Richard's disappearance, advanced technology helped investigators ID Richard's DNA in the trunk of the Trans Am. A witness also came forward claiming Snell admitted to killing Richard and stuffing his body in the... Snell was arrested and pled not guilty. He appears remotely from the Newaygo County Jail before Judge Melissa Dykeman. He's asking that his lawyer, Stephanie Korndike, be removed from the case. This is not the first attorney Snell has tried to fire.
Mr. Snell, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ms. Thorndike, it's your motion. Why don't you go ahead and tell the court what you're asking for?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm asking to be allowed to withdraw from this case as there has been a breakdown between myself and Mr. Snell. I did attempt to contact Mr. Snell. We had a bit of an argument on the telephone and he did hang up on me. From that interaction is my understanding that he probably does not want me to continue on his case. I am prepared to go to trial. However, the relationship is broken to a point where there's no communication.
Thank you, Ms. Thorndike. From the people, a response?
Just because we've had so many adjournments in the past, we think it's incumbent upon the court to continue this trial to have it completed within a reasonable amount of time.
Mr. Snell, anything you want to tell me about whether or not that's true, that you don't want her to represent you?
I ain't seen the lady in 6 or 7 months. And look at what y'all gave me. Y'all gave me a public pretender. If she was a lawyer, she would have been up here fighting my case. Everything that she's saying, that's some I don't want that.
Hey, you're not going to curse. If you've got an issue, you can tell
Look,
me
y'all
right
got
now.
me here. Wait a minute, I got an issue. Y'all got me here illegally. This some y'all be
Mr.
using
Snell,
this
if you
man
continue
to
to
break.
curse, Mr. Snell, if you continue to curse in my courtroom, I will have you removed.
Show me some respect.
Okay, please mute him for me. Mr. Snell, I'm not going to put up with you speaking over me, cursing on the record. If you're not happy, you're not happy. That's fine. You don't need to talk like that, and I'm not going to put up with it.
The judge decides to give Snell another chance and unmutes him.
Mr. Snell, now if you'd like to explain to me why you think there's been a breakdown in your relationship with Ms. Thorndike, you
Wait a
can do
minute.
so.
In case you didn't hear me correctly, I'm gonna say it once more. She ain't been up here in about 7 months. She ain't tried to do no work on my case.
Ms. Thorndike, he's indicated you haven't been there in 7 months. Have you seen him in the last 7 months?
I have, Your Honor. In fact, I believe I went in September and I directly handed him everything that he had given me.
She lying.
Snell, Mr. Snell,
Yeah.
she didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt her.
He's not willing to tell me anything about the facts and circumstances, no matter how many times I've tried.
That's a lie. That's a lie right there.
Have you been to the jail more than once?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
The jail got a record. The jail got a
With
record.
Mr. Snell,
Check the record.
almost 4 hours.
You made your track with Suno? Cool. But where's the video? We built One More Shot, the app that turns your AI music into full-on music videos. On beat, on style, on your phone. You've got the sound, now get the visuals.
We're not meant to be, but you feel like home to me. Every time I run, you find me in the dark, where no one sees.
Hours.
After considering both sides, the judge is ready to make her decision.
The court is not convinced that Ms. Thorndike has done anything inappropriate. She's prepared. She's a professional attorney. There seems to be a habit by Mr. Snell of purposely attempting to break down relationships with attorneys, both the previous attorney and this attorney. The court is not required to give new attorneys when and if he refuses to cooperate with his counsel, refuses to speak to them. This request would cause a serious disruption in already a 2-year-old case. The court's going to deny the motion to withdraw, leave the matter scheduled for trial next week, Monday.
Okay.
We're adjourned.
Thank you.
A week later, Snell went to trial with Thorndike serving as his lawyer. He was found guilty on both charges. His sentence is pending. Next, we're in district court in Washtenaw County, Michigan for a virtual hearing. Judge Anna Frushauer is presiding over a busy docket today, with many attorneys and defendants logged in, waiting for their cases to be called. One of them is 44-year-old Derek Lester. 6 months earlier, on his first day at a factory job, Lester got into an altercation with a manager over his timesheet. He allegedly grabbed the manager by the throat, threw him into a pile of boxes, and then tried to punch him. Lester was later arrested and charged with assault to him. While he waits his turn, he appears to be grooming himself, then having a smoke break, all while popping on and off his virtual background. But after everyone in the hearing watches Lester shower and shampoo, Judge Frushauer decides it's time to address his inappropriate courtroom behavior.
Mr. Lester, you need to put a shirt on, or you're going to be removed from the meeting.
But when the judge calls his case minutes later, Lester is still shirtless.
State of Michigan versus Derek Lester.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Mr. Lester, put a shirt on.
Give me 1 second. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mr. Lester, this is still a courtroom, so please, in the future, put on an appropriate shirt for court.
I'm so sorry. I just got out the shower. I'm sorry.
The judge decides to just move on.
Sir, if you can't afford an attorney, the court can appoint one at the public's expense. Would you like the assistance of an attorney?
Yes, you can appoint me an attorney.
Okay.
The judge calls on public defender Brian Crago, who's in the virtual courtroom for other defendants, to represent Lester for today. They go into a private breakout room to briefly discuss his case. When they return, Lester has a more appropriate shirt on, but now it's his headgear that catches the judge's attention.
Mr. Lester, you need to remove your hat. This is still a courtroom.
And apparently things did not go well in the breakout room.
Based upon our communication or lack thereof in terms of our ability to affect pertaining to your courtroom behavior.
That's where the problem lies, and no, you will not represent me.
Mr. Lester, you wish to retain your own...
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend my money. I'm gonna go and spend my money. That's what I'm gonna do. I already got...
How much more time are you requesting to find an attorney? Mr. Lester, you froze, so I don't know what your response was.
Hello.
I think we might have lost him, so I will pass this matter. Mr. Lester, can you unmute yourself?
After a few more tries,
Okay.
Lester did hire a private attorney to represent him at his next hearing. He remains free on bond, pending trial.
Here's a secret trick to create a music video using your face and voice. The app is called Mozart AI.
He remains free on bond, pending trial. Next, we go to Miami, Florida for a first appearance hearing. 38-year-old Felix Goldstein has been charged with misdemeanor battery. And after his arrest, Goldstein allegedly got into a fight in jail, picking up a second battery charge. He's pled not guilty to both charges. He was initially granted bond of $1,500, but failed to post it, so he's been in the county jail since his arrest. Today, Goldstein appears before Judge Carmen Cabarga, who will decide if there's probable cause in his case and if the bond amount will be adjusted. Representing the state is Nessa F.
State. So it looks like in this affidavit, it states that he pushed the victim first. The defendant's in custody on a misdemeanor battery, which owner set a $1,500 bond on this case.
As the judge looks over the charge, Goldstein argues his case, not realizing his microphone is muted.
I do find probable cause, and I'll give a bond of $1,500. Anything else? No, Judge.
Because of the jailhouse incident, Judge Kabarga sets a second bond for Goldstein for an additional $1,500, increasing his bond total to $3,000. But just as the judge is ready to move on to the next case, Goldstein unmutes his microphone.
All right,